What's up, guys? So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact roadmap you need to take your rank and rent business to 10K a month. And in some cases, it could be even a lot more than 10K a month. These are just very conservative estimates. I'm somebody that's been doing rank and rent for over 11 years. And while everybody's chasing the shiny object like AI agency, which I just don't think for most people it's going to be a good fit because it's too complex and business owners can easily fire you at any time. Rank and rent is by far still the business model that creates long-term passive income because you own the sites that you rank. Whenever you do work for other clients and you do services or agency work, you never have stability because they can decide to stop paying you at any time and you have no control. And in this presentation, I made a roadmap using war as an analogy of how you can approach this business so that success becomes inevitable. And I see other people talk about rank and rent on YouTube, but I actually walk the walk. I actually am in the business, not just talking about it. These are 150 rank and rent sites that I just built in the last 6 months alone. These are some of the phone calls that these sites are generating. Just today alone, it generated over 100 phone calls. These are some of the commissions that my sites are generating, like $1,000 for one job. Because I don't just rent out sites for a flat fee. For some of my clients, I get paid commission for every lead that they close. And right now we have $600,000 worth of estimates out. My call tracking dashboard API connects into their CRM. And so trust me when I say I'm speaking from experience, not from experience of 5-6 years ago. I'm actually decided to triple down on the rank and rent business in 2025. And in 2026, I'm building even more sites. And the biggest mistake you could make in this business is not building sites fast enough. And I'm going to show you in this roadmap how you can avoid that mistake and how to calculate the actual costs of the business so that you can predictably scale this business and know that you're going to get to 10K a month without fail, without any doubt, because we can leverage the law of numbers in this business. And I'm going to show you exactly how in this video. Let me also say this. Simplicity scales, okay? AI automation, very complex. I talked to a lot of people that have tried that model and they have since came and joined my rank and rent program. Guys, there's people talking about this AI agent's gonna make you money. None of that is true. All AI has done is create some automations, and it's the big trend right now. But my rank and rent websites are like AI. It is like the digital foot soldiers that I have out there making me money each and every day. My rank and rent websites do not get tired. They work for me around the clock, 24/7, generating leads for my clients, and I'm getting paid on autopilot. Because once my sites are ranked, I no longer have to touch them. They'll continue to work for me day in and day out. Name me one AI agent that can continue to make me money like that on autopilot. It just does not exist. So while everybody's chasing the shiny object of AI agents, this and that, I'm continually doing the one thing that has worked consistently over the last 11 years, rank and rent. So I titled this How to Get to 10K per month with Rank and Rent, but in this video you will see with this plan, you'll actually hit much bigger numbers than 10K per month. So the first step is actually niche selection. This is one of the most important steps in the rank and rent business. I've coached thousands of students, and one of the things that held a lot of students back was sometimes they would pick the wrong niche. You know, they would pick like a very specialized niche like foundation repair in a too small of a city like 30,000 population. So if we're creating this war analogy here with this video, the niche selection is like your intelligence. It's like spying on the enemy's weakness, understanding their weakness and identifying strategies that will beat the competition. Knowing what niches and cities to avoid if the competition is too fierce. Very important step. Let me just quickly show you how this is done in a very brief way. I have here a random niche and city generators, so you guys know that this wasn't pre-planned. All right, so Fort Wayne, Indiana, roofing service. Okay, roofing is gonna be more competitive type of niche. So I didn't put any limitation on the type of niches that it was gonna target. So for most beginner, I probably would not recommend this, even though I would be able to rank a site like this. So let's just keep looking. And in my community, I help students pick out the right city and niche for every student that joined my community as well. Lawn care, Miami. Miami is still going to be too big, too competitive for most beginners. Wichita, Kansas, garage door repair. Garage door repair tends to be very GBP focused. I like picking more high-end lucrative niches where it's not so GBP focused. I still have strategies to get GBP or the map listing, but it definitely requires more manual steps today. So I don't like picking out niches that are so GBP focused, because the 150 sites that I have here, most of these sites, I don't even have a GBP and I'm generating all these phone calls. House cleaning and maid service. House cleaning and maid service is too low ticket. There's apps like TaskRabbit out there now that can do these services. Okay, so flooring installation would be a good one. So let me just search in Glendale, Arizona. City size is a decent sized population city. I like targeting wood flooring. All right, so wood flooring, Glendale, Arizona. So this top site right here has a very low DR, 0.7. That's really weak. They're not even using an exact match. When I analyze his site, it's not even like a wood flooring service type of company. It's more of like they're selling, it's almost like an e-commerce site. So I can build a site that can outrank that by matching the keyword intent with a more of a service type of site instead of a site that's selling products. So this is a good sign. So what I don't want to see is like a huge brand that has very strong DR and possibly EMD. And right now with this, we're not seeing that. So this is also an off page that's ranking. That's one thing to keep in mind. So this would be a really good pick in terms of niche selection to go into. This site again is a weak DR and it's ranking off page. Once you select the niche, then it's time to start building the site. And this is where your SEO skills are come into play. I've been doing high-level SEO for 11 years. I rank ePay.com on a global level. So I had to actually take my SEO to a higher level to rank ePay.com, which is how I learned all the other moves when it comes to ranking local sites. So we're going to weaponize EMD. We're going to have better keyword research by utilizing various tools that most competitors are not utilizing. We're going to put the keywords in the right places. The most important is the site title, H1, H2, H3. We're going to have better semantic SEO, which basically means to understand that Google search is no longer just operating on just keyword matching. It's actually understanding the meaning behind the words on your page and the various different contexts and the connections that you're making with your content. This allows us to utilize one page to rank for multiple various longer tail keywords. Really guys, like semantic SEO is the future, because that's how, if you do this correctly, you're also able to get found by the LLMs like ChatGPT and all these other large language models over other companies. Better site design. Don't let anybody else tell you that site design does not matter. This is not true. I have my own click and drag web builder that I've built out here, dashboard.epay.com. And, I have different templates that my students can use. Site design does matter in two different ways. First of all, if you keep using the same template over and over again, it does hurt your rankings. Google has machine learning to look at your site design. It can increase low quality score on your site. And also, if you have a crappy site, it's just not going to convert that well when you're dealing with more high ticket niches. And then when people stay longer on your site because you've laid out the content better and you created a much better site design, that increases the dwell time of all the visitors, which Google is tracking through the Google Chrome browser. So when you can increase the dwell time and the user behavior signal, that alone can help you outrank other companies on page one. And that ends up becoming one of the more powerful ranking factors over time. Here you can see the site builder. We can click and drag different elements on the page. And what people don't really understand is the order of the words matter, especially in the first paragraph. Having different keywords in the H1 matters a lot. And then breaking down various services into subtopics, especially on the home page, begins to matter significantly. And also increasing the different entities on the content. So you don't just talk about surface level thing. We go into statistics. We talk about different brands of different products. This is getting deeper into semantic SEO, and it's no longer about sticking various keywords in different sections of the site. You actually have to create a semantically coherent site that goes deeper into the topic than the competitors. Not only that, but we're also going to create a lot more service pages than the competition as well, and also sub-city pages. And this is going to build what's called topical authority. So yeah, more service pages, more sub-city pages, better interlinking structure. This is also huge. Too many people are linking to too many different pages from the homepage, which is not ideal. You want more of the outer sections of the site linking back to the homepage as opposed to a other way around. And also you want to think about the various long tail questions that people might be asking about your niche. You want to also include that into your content. So this whole process is key here, because when I see people half-ass this step and they're just trying to scale a bunch of rank and rent sites, a lot of those sites are going to underperform, and then they complain about the fact that they're not getting enough leads, and they blame it on the fact that they claim that rank and rent is not working, especially without the GBP. But understand that when you do this right and you don't half-ass this step, these sites can generate a lot of phone calls even without the GBP. So next step is, if you're a brand new beginner, I recommend building out 10 rank and rent sites right out of the gate. It can be 10 sites in various different cities, various different niches. And I want to show you this post by Greg, who's from my previous community. He's been doing rank and rent as long as I have, over 11 years. And he says, what a year, we've got some GBPs, but most of this call volume is coming from websites. My business partner and I met here in lead gen 11 years ago, and we've been slinging leads ever since. Organic is still the play. Are you scaling out building websites, or are you making excuses? And this was posted last month, January 9th. And Thad is asking, hey, are you getting these leads but just ranking on page 1? And he goes, we've got a few hundred sites and are building 3,600 more. And I'm going to begin to explain to you guys the power of rank and rent as you begin to scale more and more websites. Instead of, sometimes, GBPs can slow you down if you get too focused on it. Sometimes it might be better to just start scaling the websites. And those of you that are on the fence about rank and rent, you don't know if this business model is going to work for you. Well, I'm going to explain to you real quick. When you do the law of numbers in this business, you remove all luck out of the equation, you remove all the talent or any other factors or any excuse that you may have out of the equation. There comes a certain point in this business where you can make 10, 15K a month. Making 10, 15K a month becomes inevitable. So once you build out your first 10 rank and rent sites, here's what's going to happen. Just like in war, you need resources to continue to go to war. So here's the costs. Each site is going to cost you around $30 per month. So let's just say $30 per month across 10 sites, that's $300 per month. Well, you have to understand that one commission from one job from any of those sites can pay you $200 to $300. Sites are typically going to take 2 to 3 months before it starts generating leads. Although in my community, I got some students generating leads within 1 month of starting the site. Sites will become even more powerful from 3 to 6 months. What this means is in 3 months, if you build 10 lead gen sites or 10 rank and rent sites, in 3 months, you should have some leads coming in where it'll offset the cost of $300 per month across all 10 of those sites. Okay, and so instead of waiting for all 10 of those sites to rank and wait 6 months, what you really ought to do is understand you just need to go out and build more sites if you can afford it. Right? So there's 2 different paths you can take. You can wait until you're making another extra $300 a month and then invest in 10 more sites. Realistically, across 10 sites in 3-4 months, you should be making $600 a month, $900 a month across all 10. I would invest right away into building 10 more sites, so you got 20 sites going. Or to really accelerate the process, this is something I'm teaching as well, is you can take the skills of ranking these sites, SEO skills, and then you can just go hustle and go offer SEO as a service to other business owners or sell website builds and go make the money. And if you're a hustler, this is really amazing because there's no shortage of business owners that you can literally just cold call all day long, all across the country, all from different niches. I recently closed a deep tissue massage therapist in Illinois. And that is like a brick and mortar business. It's not like a service-based, phone-driven business. So you can start doing SEO service for even businesses that you wouldn't regularly work with a rank and rent business. And this client has agreed to pay me $1,500 a month for 12 months. Again, my focus is continually building rank and rent sites because these are sites I own and control. But if you're somebody that's wanting money right away, like in your first month, you could really do this and start getting money as soon as possible. And then use the money that you get from these clients to fuel and fund launching more rank and rent sites. It's almost like launching more battleships. And then the faster you can then get to 30 rank and rent websites, you will ensure that you will hit your goal of 10K per month. Because at 10 rank and rent websites, here's what the math breaks down. By the way, 10 rank and rent websites is $30 a month per website. So $30 per month times 30 sites is $900 per month in cost. This is the number that you got to be able to afford. I know a lot of you guys are tight financially right now, so $900 a month seems like a lot. However, as you're building the last 10, you already have the first 10 that you already built like 4 or 5 months ago. These are already starting to generate leads, and you should be starting to get paid across all of these sites, which, let's say we got these 10 sites. If one of these sites generated one commission in a month, like $300, it already covered the cost of all 10 of these sites. And then if multiple sites start making you money, then you can afford the next 10, right? And then the next 10. You scale aggressively. You don't worry about paying your bills with these sites quite yet until you get to 30 sites. Because once all 30 sites are launched and you're making enough money to cover this expense, then the tables turn and it really goes towards your favor. So if each site, okay, and these sites can rank in 3-4 months, get more powerful at 6 months, but even after, it reaches max power and the worst case scenario, each site starts making you $300 per month, which is honestly a joke when you implement some of my high level SEO tactics. These sites will be worth a lot more than $300 a month. But let's just say, for the sake of example, maybe you're desperate to make money ASAP, so you close some business owners at a very favorable deal for them. And let's say you just close every site at $300 a month. Well, that's still $9,000 per month that you're now making on passively. And you're paying $900 a month in cost, so it'll be like you're making $8,000 per month. Now, let's say if each site is making you $750 per month, which this is still pretty conservative, but we can just say this is pretty average considering, let's just assume that you don't get GBPs for any of these sites. Each of these sites will easily be worth like $750 per month. You're already now at $22,500 per month of income. And then if you start getting GBPs for some of these sites will be worth $1,000 to $2,000 a month. And so when you start getting GBPs, not even all, but some of these sites, let's just say on average, each site starts making you $1,000 per month. You could be hitting $30,000 per month, especially when you go into these high ticket niches and you form even lucrative commission deals, because like you saw, one $12,000 job of mine got me paid $1,000 in commission. And these sites would generate more than one of those jobs in a month. So the upside across all these sites are huge. Even on the conservative end, for 6 months of putting in the work on building out all these sites in 3-4 months, you have a digital asset portfolio that's generating this amount. Like, who wouldn't do that? That's what I'm saying is, like, you guys just need to get to work on this model. I've shown over the years that this model is one of the most sound business models out there. I've been doing this for 11 years. Name me another online business guy that's been doing the same business model for 11 years and it's still working to this day. When you chase shiny object business models, those are trends. Those have no promises that they'll still be around a year from now, 2 years from now. Especially with AI automation, like tools are changing constantly because the AI is evolving so fast. Who's to say 6 months from now, a business owner couldn't just implement that himself? And again, most businesses don't have an AI automation problem. They have a lack of customers problem. So then once you got this portfolio, now you can begin to really take this business to the next level, because now you are in the driver's seat. Now you can hire virtual assistants from the Philippines. You pay them $3 to $5 an hour, and now you have a whole army that's building out more of these sites for you. You can then implement some AI automation in your business, which I will be teaching my students as well. You can become a dominant niche authority. You'll start getting word of mouth referrals. You can start talking about your results on your social media pages. You'll have people reaching out to you, building your personal brand. You'll be able to land much bigger clients. And while you are doing all of this, remember, you are forming all kinds of real relationships with actual business owners. Like, I'm very close with my business owners. We've been working together for like the last 6, 7, 8 years. If I call them up and they miss my call, they call me back right away. These are real world tangible assets That's not going to go away, even if Google was to shut down, even if SEO was to shut down, which it's not, but it was to go away. There's always going to be something new online where my clients are going to need my help to get them more customers, right? So this is something that's going to stay with you long term. You're building something real. Not to mention all these websites that you build out are websites that you own and control as well. So I want to read you this testimonial. Big win for one of my clients yesterday. He called and excited because the website I built for him brought in a deal that'll be worth $24,000 a month for his business. He's talking about another big win where his client is extremely happy because his work brought in a $140,000 job. And right now they're negotiating a lead gen deal. And he says, I have started to call these lead gen sites a 24/7 sales machine. I like to sometimes call these 24/7 virtual vending machines or virtual billboards. He goes, I'm currently negotiating a lead gen deal with a company that does about $4.8 million a year and is tired of paying for Google ads. So listen, with these simple sites that are only $30 a month, okay, you could find these amazing business owners and they want you to build out even more sites. And you can form these lucrative lead gen commission deals where essentially for $30 a month, like you're getting access to their whole team, their whole crew, their equipment that invested hundreds of thousands of dollars to get into business for $30 a month. It's almost like, it's pretty much like you're getting equity into their business. I'm telling you guys right now, this business, rank and rent, lead gen, I like to call it lead gen as well because I don't just rent out sites, I generate leads and I get paid for leads. Guys, it's so leveraged. The numbers are on our side because these sites are so inexpensive to maintain. Once they're ranked, they don't require much more time from us at all. Meaning you can continually build more and more sites. And when you can operate business with the law of numbers in mind, you become literally unstoppable. Like failure is not an option. There is no excuse that you can make for me. I don't care if you've never done sales, if you never talked to business owners. You build these sites and you build quality sites that generates these leads. The business owners are gonna want your sites or the leads that your sites are generating. And even if you suck at making the deal and you were to give some business owners a very favorable deal, like you rent it out for $300 a month, you can still hit $8,000 to $9,000 a month, even worst case scenario at just 30 sites. Okay, so think about that. Sacrifice the next 3 to 6 months of your life. Focus on building these 30 rank and rent sites, and I promise you, you have a digital portfolio that's going to allow you to finally walk away from your 9 to 5 and reclaim the most important thing in your life, which is your time. Don't continue to sit in the sidelines and think of what ifs and have regret later on, like what if I try that rank and rent business model? Don't be stuck in uncertainty. You just need to sometimes in life go for it and take massive action. And I have a coaching program where I'm going to be guiding you every step of the way. I do live coaching calls on a weekly basis, and I can provide real-time feedback so that you're sure that you're going into the right cities and the right niches and you're building these sites in a proper way. And as long as you follow my coaching, I have no doubt that I can get you these results. So if you're interested in my coaching, schedule a time with me below. You're going to be speaking directly with me, okay? And I'm going to give you the exact blueprint that's going to finally allow you to get financial security in life. Talk to you guys soon.